Hi, everybody. DJ Oakley with you once again for Coach's Corner, brought to you by Burbick Farms. And as always, I am joined by the one, the only, Mr. Chris Kadvan, the coach of the United Local Golden Eagles. How are you, Coach?
Doing very well, DJ. How about yourself?
Doing well, brother. Doing well. It's a slow start for the Eagles this year, something we talked about in the first episode. But what have you learned about your team 3 games in?
Learned a lot about our team so far. Going into the season, we knew that with only one returning letterman and basically a whole new team, that was going to be a learning process. And I've learned that we have some great kids on our team, and they really understand the accountability factor as far as, hey, what do we need to do to improve on? We have two big weaknesses as far as turning the ball over, giving up offensive rebounds. So we've talked about a lot in practice, but the main thing is in the film room in practice, the kids are holding each other accountable, and we're also changing things up in practice as far as what we need to do to hold them accountable. That hey, we need to improve in those areas. So early on, what I've learned is we got a great group of kids that work hard, have been very coachable, and understand that this is a process going in, especially early on, playing the teams. Our first 3 games, the teams have a combined record of 14-1. So it's been battle, and then we have a tough week ahead of us too. But you know what? Each day, all we can worry about is controlling the things that we can control, and that's what we keep preaching. Hey, let's worry about controlling our turnovers, limiting our turnovers, and our offensive, giving up so many offensive rebounds.
When you face a schedule like this, I mean, there's so many teaching moments for a coach with no seniors and only one returning letterman. How do you keep a positive mentality? I know you're a positive person overall, but how do you keep a positive mentality through your players that keep wanting to come back day after day in that gym and working on things to improve, not only the things that they're good at, but the things that they're kind of working on?
I always say I hate losing more than I like winning. And, I believe that leadership starts from the top. So if I have a poor attitude, it's going to trickle down to my teammates, to my team and my players. And I'm doing a bad job as a leader if I have a poor attitude. Yeah, no one likes to lose. But at the same time, we all know that, hey, there's things we need to fix. And the only way we can fix that is in practice, in film room, and playing more games. Because perfect example is, we can't simulate the type of athleticism that we've gone against so far in practice. The kids even know that, like, hey, I threw this pass, I thought I was open, and all of a sudden, boom, they jump for a steal, and hey, well, okay, that's varsity basketball. With only one kid with varsity experience, they're understanding that and everything. So it's just really being positive, making the kids accountable, having them take ownership of it too, and at the same time, mixing things up in practice, having fun, joking around with the kids, and trying to have that as positive attitude.
When you're on the court, I mean, are you educating kids? How do you educate kids to correlate what they see on film to what they see in practice to what they see in the games? I think that for me, as an outsider, not a coach, is the hardest thing to figure out how coaches do that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, and also my big thing is also too relating it to life. Perfect example is I guarantee DJ, you've went for some interviews, and I have, and I guarantee people watching this right now that went to different interviews and didn't get a job because someone was better than them, or someone has more experience. So hey, relating it to life, because in life that happens. But also, yeah, it's using those teaching points, and really the main thing is our 2 focuses is limiting our turnovers and offensive rebounds. With such a inexperienced group, you don't want to overwhelm them. So it's just, hey, those are our 2 goals. Those are 2 things we're focusing on. We chart those now in practice, and at the end of practice, if you have a turnover, you give an offensive rebound, you run. So there's a lot of different things you can talk about in film and everything, but I'm a strong believer you got to start somewhere, and that's our glaring weaknesses, and kind of start small there.
When you look at this conference, you guys are just dipping your toe into it here in the new year 2019-2020. What's nice about it is it's a conference that anybody can take it on any given night. So being able to motivate your kids that way, is that something that you take pride in, to be able to say, hey, it matters. Practice during the week matters. How much film you watch matters. What you do in the classroom, outside the classroom matters, because everything goes to that one night. And no matter who it may be, the favorites, Southern, Columbiana, Letonia, East Palestine. You look at these teams, and at the end of the day, you have a chance every time you walk into a gym. Does that help?
It helps. I mean, the mentality is any given night,
Yeah.
especially in this league, because like in kind of things you kind of alluded to, that it is a very competitive league. So, if you just one night, hey, you got to be better than the other team. And that's also too is the kids understand that as well. Is all you got to do is play 4 quarters, and that's what we're from a whole high school standpoint, we're having a hard time put together 4 quarters. So it's just working on that, but also keeping that positive attitude too, because like you said, any given night, anything can happen, especially in this league where it's so balanced.
Looking at your next, 3 games, I have 4 up there on the graphic, but your next 3, home against Wellsville, home against Columbiana, and then you take part in the Battle of the Borders in East Palestine. 3 games that there's an athletic team on the other side of that bench. Talk to me about first Wellsville, how you feel you're going to match up. You said earlier it's not going to get much easier. I mean, how do you take that structure into it? And the kids read the paper too. The kids watch YSN and they realize these are good teams walking into that gym. Does home field advantage or home court advantage help you?
I'll tell you what, I mean, it's going to be December 17th, and we're going to play our first home game. So hopefully that gives us a little edge. Eagle Nation, we usually have a good turnout with our Eagle crazies and everything. And we kind of, our cheerleaders really have helped develop a good, school spirit and everything. So we're going to be glad to get home. Wellsville, we're going to throw something a little different at Wellsville. I'm not going to say exactly, but we got something in our back pocket that, we've kind of noticed in film, and we're going to do something a little different. And that's the thing is, we take one game at a time. We got Wellsville, obviously, like I said, we got a different game plan we're going to do defensively against them. And then Columbiana is its own beast in itself. They're, in my opinion, one of the most balanced teams in the league. They got a nice post player in Maisie, and they got a ton of different guards from the outside that can shoot, that can handle it. And what's one thing about Columbiana is they don't have that one main guy. They have a collective group of seniors that have been together for a while.
I mean, this is 2 teams you know very well, Wellsville and Columbiana, and then you step into a neutral site to play a team from across the border. I mean, does that excite you at this point? Kind of getting off of, seeing what you can do in the conference and then stepping away from it, from a team where you have some familiarities with the coaching staff, but not really the players or the team?
Yeah, I think Saturday is a great opportunity for us to take a part of that. Billy Stanton has done a great job over there. I organized this event as Ohio versus PA Battle of the Border. It's very organized, got some great teams coming in, and this game hits home a little bit. It's going against Neshannock. I coached there a year because their head coach, John Corey, was my high school coach. Such a great guy. I was lucky to be able to learn a lot from him a year as a coach, but also, he was also one that challenged me a lot as a player, and I grew a lot in my 3 years playing for him at Struthers. So that one definitely hits home a little bit too. But at the same time, it's nice to be able to showcase our kids in a different event like that, where it's, you're playing at a neutral site, you're playing someone else that you don't really know. And you guys are going to be broadcasting it live and everything, and good coverage for our boys. And so that's going to be a nice night for us.
Coach, typically to start the season, we talk about the seniors, and we talked about it last week. You don't have any. So we're going to lean on you for some returning lettermen to start, and it's only one, Keaton Baker. Talk about Keaton and what he means to your program, not only for the past, but the next 2 years.
Keaton overall is, number one, a great young man. He's a hard worker. He gives everything. He cares about the team. He wants to win. He's a great competitor. Last year as a sophomore, he won our Most Improved Player Award. And he also, about halfway towards the season, I want to say in January, he started to crack the starting lineup. He's one definitely that has been stepping up recently, the last week or so, as far as being a leader and communicating that, hey, all of us coaches know that to be able to have that other coach on the court that, I'm saying something, but, to hear also from another player can go huge. Being a player-led team, and he's really started to take on that leadership. That usually I've been blessed in the past couple of years to have at least one or two solid senior leaders. But he's been thrown into the fire from the beginning, and he's been rising to the challenge and trying not to take everything on his shoulders, and understanding that it's a process, and the only way we're gonna get better is if we stay positive and we work together as a team. Keaton, number one, every single night he's gonna give you 100% effort, just like his brother Landon Baker last year. Have both those on the floor. They're hardworking. Every night that they're gonna give 100% for the team.
Yep.
They're going to go out there and give it all, lay it out on the court. And if I said, Keaton, I need you to do this, Keaton's going to do it. So number one, he's coachable also. We throw different assignments. We got a different assignment for him tomorrow night. And I know I can count on him to go out there and do his job. So he's a great kid. He's a great student athlete, does a lot of things, very involved in at his church and a lot of different things, other sports at the school. So he's really just a real well-balanced young man.
Chris, do you see value in getting these kids into leadership roles a little bit sooner, as opposed to bigger schools that have seniors year after year and changing captains? I mean, you have an ability right now to impact a young man's life probably a year or two more than most. Is that an opportunity for you? Is that a challenge?
I don't think it's really a challenge. I think it's understanding that understanding our expectations as far as a program, that we've kind of built this program on hard work and dedication, and Keaton's a perfect example of hard work and dedication during the season. And so I don't know necessarily that's a challenge, but I think it's just something that understanding, maybe not until your senior year, because usually, like you said, usually sometimes you don't really understand the maturity factor of growing up until your senior year.
Right.
But you have people like that I've had a couple players off the top of my head that graduated, but their junior year they were ready to take on some leadership roles. So it's really an individual thing, and depending on each individual player.
One of the things we like to do, especially in the first few Coaches Corners, we had a few last year and we got two this year. Let's talk a little bit about your background. And my biggest thing is, why do you love the game so much? Because you love the game of basketball.
I do. I do love, actually in high school, my favorite sport to play is baseball. I played baseball 1 year at Westminster, but, I love coaching basketball more than baseball. Something about, being on a Friday night, coaching under the lights and having a good atmosphere and everything. So, I really do enjoy coaching. And I really enjoy, developing relationships with the kids. I do that in the classroom. My biggest thing is getting to know the kids and really understand them as individuals. I still I was just actually talking last week to a couple of my kids that graduated. Hey, wishing them good luck on their finals. Some of those that are freshmen this year, asking them, how the semester goes. Hey, just wait. You have a month off for Christmas break and everything. So I really get that's truly. I mean, my biggest thing I take pride in is getting to know the kids and develop a relationship that goes up beyond basketball. A lot of kids that have graduated. Perfect example is Landon Baker. I see him he's at Home Depot working. He's working 2 different jobs, and I see him. Hey, coach, and we talk, and it's just like we just saw each other yesterday. And just, perfect example, some of the other kids that have graduated too, that when I see them, it's just like we just saw each other the other day.
That's awesome to hear the positive impact you continue to have in these young men's lives. Coach, it's that time of year. You're either on the naughty list or the nice list. Let's talk about the Kadvan Christmas. What's on your list this year? Have you been a good boy, or are you going to get a lump of coal?
Well, depends who you ask, right?
Always.
Always, right? Depends who you ask. I would say I've been on the good list.
Attaboy.
I don't think there's anything that would have been different, but no, as far as the Christmas list, I've definitely been on the good list, not the naughty list.
What are you looking to get under the tree this year?
Man, I tell you what, it's funny is, I'm sure you can relate, DJ, when we were younger that, we got excited. Oh, I got a video game. I got this new cell phone. We got excited about that. But now as we get older, I tell you what, I got an air compressor for an early Christmas gift. I was pumped. I was so pumped to get this air compressor. No, yeah. So I got this air compressor with staple guns and everything. So I got that as an early Christmas gift because I put new floors in one of our bedrooms upstairs. So it's just funny the circle of life, how it goes.
When did we get old, man?
Oh, man, hey, forever young, forever young.
Forever young. Coach Kadvan, thank you so much for the time. We wish you and the Eagles good luck. I will see you on Friday in the Eagles Nest for Columbiana. Looking forward to it, brother.
All right, DJ, thanks for having me.